These men who founded the Uptown PID are just lions of the city.
They had a heart about this development, and the community has a heart as a result of that.
Phil has an eye for the creative solution, and he's not afraid to do unorthodox things to accomplish it.
Without Robert's vision and direction and example, we certainly wouldn't be here.
People just follow Neil. If he says it's time to do it, it's time to do it.
When I first met Charles, I was convinced that he was a Brit. He had that sense of himself and sense of style and presence.
Hank equals art. He is a collector and an adventurer and a believer.
And so my first investors were Japanese. Then we tried to bring German investors in. And an example of that, we're riding around, I'm telling what a safe neighborhood this is. And we come around a corner and there's 2 police cars and there's a chalk outline of a body. Obviously they did not invest. And that's when we decided to go public.
We uncovered these things called trolley tracks. And that's when Ed Landrum, my co-founder of the trolley, came to me one day in my restaurant office and said, we've measured the crown of the ball of the rail, and there's 3 5/8 inches left on that. I said, that's great, Ed. What the heck does that mean?
When we started the Uptown PID, it was originally a means of supporting the McKinney Avenue trolley. But we quickly realized that there was so much more that you could do with the public improvement district.
If you tried to do the PID today, I bet you couldn't get it done, okay? But it was a moment in which everything hung in the balance, right? Success wasn't guaranteed. It was unknown.
Everybody wants to be the guy that when the necessity comes up, the coach will put you in the game and you can hit the ball out of the park. And this was my opportunity to see if I was that guy.
I have had the pleasure and honor of working for Rosewood and Ms. Hunt as a client, and I had the opportunity to set up a meeting with her, and I took Robert Shaw because he was much more eloquent in explaining the benefits of the PID than I. Very enamored with Robert, and she decided that this PID deal was a good idea and that they would support it.
Uptown wasn't just important to the city of Dallas, it was important to me because I bet my career and my future on it.
Having Rosewood as owner of the Crescent buy into the PID was critical, because if we didn't have their support, it wouldn't have passed.
The founders brought in a fresh perspective and the fresh use of economic development tools that were not being used in Dallas at the time.
I think our first big success was the rebuilding of McKinney Avenue.
The original brick, 100-year-old brick that was there, and the substructure underneath the brick was starting to fail. So the lights and the trees and the resurfacing of McKinney Avenue was his first big, really signature project that we did.
The founders of Uptown Dallas Inc. quite literally created the most vibrant neighborhood in Texas. The word I would use to describe Phil is innovator.
I would say that Phil Cobb is passionate about the trolley.
Creative.
Visionary.
Determined.
One word for Hank Rossi, tenacious.
Renaissance man.
If I had to use one word to describe Hank Rossi, it would be sexy. At least that's what he tells me.
One word that would describe Neil Sleeper, bulldog.
Absolutely dependable.
Quiet.
I'd say friendly.
The one word that would describe Charles Womack is debonair.
Charles, talented.
The best adjective that I can describe my friend Robert is that he's focused.
Not a very good center.
Robert, stubborn.
Robert had vision, of what this community could be. Once he came and did one successful project, he said, let's keep rolling them out.
Yeah, what are we going to say good about Neil?
This would be tough, isn't it?
Boy, it's going to be a stretch here, but we'll try. Let's see.
I'd say these two guys are I've gotten credit over the years, and I feel like I contributed my piece. But they were here before I came, and they were here after I left.
I want to thank both of you guys for tolerating me for 27 years. When you get to be my age, and you start stepping
How old
back,
are you?
I'm not sure.
It's really been amazing seeing the neighborhood come to life.
This is a real city in here.
I think our Uptown PID has served as a great example of what can happen to build a better community.
The city of Dallas would have experienced population loss during the first decade of this millennium without the power of Uptown.
I want Uptown to become a big family. I want it to become my big family.
We have the most walkable urban community, definitely in Dallas, maybe one of the most walkable urban communities anywhere in the state.
If I'm having a bad day in the Uptown area, all I got to do is get on one of these trolley cars and do a 45-minute loop and see what we have accomplished in 25 years, and my batteries are charged again.
I just want to thank you, all of you, all 5 of you. Thank you very much.
How exciting is that to be a part of changing an American city?